guys, so we're going to go through the Asia strategy which I use profitably. So it's going to be a video just because some of people do not know how to incorporate it. So I'm pretty much going to show you how. So we start off with the Lux Algo Sessions Indicator, which will mark out the highs and lows of the Asia strategy. So for the UK, I use 1 AM until 8 AM in the London time zone. So here we've got an Asia low. So with this indicator, it will already mark this out for us at for the lowest point. What do? We swept it here, we failed to close. But if you look, we don't actually have a break structure. So here, okay, so once we swept it, what we want to see is a strong change of character or a break structure. So let's quickly find one. So we've got one here, but because we've consolidated so much, as well as we didn't leave anything for us to retrace off, we'd ignore this entire part. Because yes, we've got an order block here, which we could have potentially used. But if you look, we've already mitigated it here, so we wouldn't bother with it. So if we go back to over here, we've got a nice little change of character right there, or market structure shift. So that could have been our entry point. But if you look, what we also done is swept another low right here. Right there, and what we've also done is actually created a fake break of structure. So a fake break structure, and then we chop flipped into a fair value gap right here. So when we've got 3 continuous candles like this, you could always use the middle one. The middle one tends to be the safest one. But what I do is I just mark out the bottom to the top and use that entire zone as the gap, just for simplicity. So now this is, our entry came before 11 AM. So our entry came at 10 to 11. So we tapped into it. And then what do we target? We target a fix 1 to 2. Or you target Asia highs, which happen to be right here. So times where you don't want to target Asia highs is when we've had a massive Asia pump like here. So that's why. So if we go back to here again, see the original sweep failed to close, another sweep failed to close, another sweep failed to close. Go to the 15-minute, again, wicked, hourly. Because we don't really care about the 30-minute, because that's in between 15 and an hour. And once again, failed to close. So that's like the textbook A setup. So sweep into a change of character in FVG. So this liquidity sweep, as well as this one, we don't really care about because it's not really relevant for the strategy. So let's find another example. So GU today, we swept this high right here. But what we've also done, is we've not actually failed. We've not actually closed lower. Like we've got this little shift here, but that's still not valid because we didn't even create a bottom wick. So why would we think that is valid? Here again, you have another one which looks kind of valid, but then again, we're not really showing strong bullish momentum. And obviously we have actually shot up in price. So this would be invalid sweep. Why? Because from here, we wicked, but now from here to here, we've just closed above. Yeah, so this was literally 0.6 points above. We get to the 50-minute, we've closed above. Hourly, well, we're closing above. So this would not be valid. We go to euro once again. We swept it. So we swept it from here to here. If we go to the 5 minute, this wouldn't be valid, of course, because why? We've had a bullish candle body above this high, so that would not be valid. Go to the 15 minute again, we've had that same reaction. 30 minute, same. Hourly, same. So that would not pass as a sweep at all. So let's find a pair where we have actually validated. So we got GJ. So we got Asia highs, which we've swept. We've closed above, but we dropped down. We get to the 5 minutes, we've wicked it. And the 15 minute again. Where is the high? Here. We've closed above. But if we get to 30 minute, what have we got? We got a close above, but not close above here. So this would have been the true break of structure. This is just a, well, this is nothing. Why? Because this is, you wouldn't class this as a change of character or a structure shift or anything. So if we go to the hourly, we fail to close above with a doji candle in between. Now we are actually in the setup. So you've got an order block right here. So let's just take a sell position here with our stops above this high. And we can target a 1 to 2. We'll target just below 1 to 2 because we've got this little prominent low here which we could potentially target. So we've got that. So this would be a valid one so far until we close above here or here. Then it will become our invalidation zone. So let's look at UJ. What do we have? This is all today, by the way, for the 4th of February. We've got this high here. We swept above it. Let's see if we closed above. So we closed above here. Let's mark it out. So we closed above here again. Hourly, we wicked. So high time frames hold higher power. So because the 15 minute closed above, but the hourly didn't, we're gonna get base off the hourly. Why? Because it's got more strength. So if we go to, now let's find an invalid one. So when Asia is like trending like this, we don't really want to trade it because Asia moved more than London as well as New York that day. So let's find a invalid one. So this is another valid one because why? We swept the Asia highs from here to here. So we swept from there to there. We've also created a change of character right here. And we left behind a fair value gap. And straight down for a 1 to 2. These are just quick examples, I'm not diving too much into them. But to develop a what's valid, what's invalid, you pretty much got to look on the higher time frame to see if it's the zone has closed above. So let's look at GU here for a moment. So we've got the high here and we swept it here. So we closed above originally here. So if we go to the 5 minutes, we just failed to close above. With 15 minute, let's mark out this high, which is here, I believe. Nope, our high is actually here. This was just to help with the higher time frame. So we closed above, but we rejected that zone. 30-minute, we rejected. Failed to close above. Hourly, and we also failed to close above. So this would be a valid one, even though we closed on the 1 minute on a bullish candle. So we did actually have a break. No, we didn't, because we failed to close here. So this is just, it's still part of the Asia sweep, but because on the higher time frame we didn't bodily close, then it's still valid. And then here you can look for a setup. So order blocks or supply zones you can always use, which was a good indication. And fair value gaps, you've got a gap here or an imbalance, which we filled. Granted, that is not the best entry because you probably would have got smoked. Got the 3-minute actual supply zone, which you could have used. 5 minutes, same again, same candle. So we got that targeted Asia lows. Why? Because we've just consolidated. So if we don't want to see Asia creating a huge move like here, like this is just an absolute huge move, so we wouldn't actually take that at all, because that's just like a massive drop for us to do during London. So now let's find a invalid one where we sweep but we just keep going lower. There we go. Right, so we've got Asia lows and highs. There's our Asia low. So we've got this low here. What do? We sweep it. But let's go to the higher time frame. Asia, we swept it again. 15-minute. Oh. So we've got the 1 minute here, and then we sweep it here. But what we do have is major imbalance, which during the time you could probably think, oh yeah, we're going to fill it. But sometimes that's not the case, because we didn't create a change character or nothing. So if we had like a closure above this candle without these wicks here, just this body, we could potentially saw Asia highs. But because we didn't, we just kept going down and down. And then even here, we still can't, we're still not finding the entry because no change character, no market structure shift, nothing. So if we just keep going forward, you can see that we just continue going down and failing to make an actual strong change of character. So by this time, we've actually had a true break structure to the downside again from here. So even though we swept, we didn't actually show any bullish momentum, and which led to a bearish, well, change of character, break structure. So, and then we just continue down, 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 because we just couldn't find anything showing us bullish signs all here before the dump. And same again from here, there's nothing actually showing us. So we've got this here, but once again, that's not bullish confirmation at all. So that's it. That's what we class as the invalid one, when we sweep, but we have no like bullish reactions. So you always need a change character, market structure shift, or a break structure. They're all relatively the same thing. So we just want to see a bullish movement sign. But here we failed to do so. And we actually reacted off this gap here. So that is what we'd class as invalid. Where's another example? Oh, here we go. So this is today on GBP CAD. So our Asia low was here, just at 7 o'clock. So this is why I end Asia at 8, because even though it doesn't stop till 9, I start at 8, which is when London opens. So I'm looking at anything before 8 to be swept, which happens to be here. So we sweep it right here. on that line there, we go to the 5 minutes, failed to close below, 15, failed to close below, 30, same again, hourly, same again. And what do we also make? A double bottom. So that's where a candle body closes in line with another candle body, but with the opposing direction. So here, what do we have? So we swept it, and then we've got to change a character. What's got an actual better one here? What do we leave behind? A massive order block here. I wonder if this would have took us in. So we would have actually just missed that, I believe. Or you could have used this entire consolidation as your demand zone, which would have tapped you. But you've also got a gap here. So let's say we use the gap, because FVGs I find are slightly better. But order blocks also work just as well. So for a gap, it's better if we don't want it to go that low, but with an order block, we want it to go back that low for a better entry. So during your experience, you'll know which is more likely to hit. So yeah. So here, this should be a good example. So we've got Asia highs here. We failed to close above here, but we closed above right here. And would that be valid? I don't know. Let's check. So we closed above here. 15-minute we also closed above. Hourly we did not close above. So if you had to choose between the 15, 30 and hourly, the hourly would hold more power. Especially because we closed the rejection down here. So the 8 o'clock candle, that's the one that closed. So you would have found an entry somewhere here, somewhere along here. So if we quickly mark that out, let's see if we can find a quick entry. Exactly. So we closed here on the hourly candle, and we left behind a gap, which we already mitigated before, but we came to retest it. If we get to the 5-minute gap, we've got a huge 5-minute gap here, which we tapped into and targeted Asia lows, because this was just a straight consolidation. That's when it works perfectly. Like when Asia's just ranging, the London session tends to do this. So here again, we closed above these highs here, but if we get to the higher time frame, we failed to close. 15-minute, failed to close again. Actually, I'm not going to do that. Hourly, failed to close again. So the higher time frame, if we close above, you want to look at the higher time frame to see if we've also closed above. And if we, well, close above in the high time frame, the odds of it happening is going to very thinly down, well, thin. So just like Euro. So actually no, GE would have been a better example, isn't it? Let's remove this. So he swept it. So you probably could have actually caught something. And if you ran a very tight stop with a 5, you probably could have got 10 pips. Yep, you could have got a 1 to 2. But again, you probably wouldn't have found an entry. So here, you've just closed above. And that's why it's invalid. Because if this was valid, we wouldn't want to see fucking 10 consecutive candles all bullish going up. Like we've got some breaks here, but that's it. You know, that's like very strong bullish confirmation. What we'd want is what we have right here. Like all here, but just on the opposite direction where we should go up, down, up, down, up, down, rather than just straight up. So that is that. Hopefully this made you understand the concept a little bit better. So yeah.